It's the 2020 Quarantine Trinket Tournament. 20 trinkets face off, each bringing something to the table, but only one can be the best.
I'm a Taurus. This supposedly means I'm materialistic, which is odd because this is a real picture of my living situation. So where's my love for stuff? Well, it's all stored in my trinkets, which for me are what social scientist Sherry Turkle calls evocative objects. These artifacts in our lives are emotional and intellectual companions that anchor memory, sustain relationships, and provoke new ideas. These trinkets aren't fighting over what's most expensive, or most useful, or most powerful in combat situations, but how special they are.
It's trinket time!
My cousins and I found this piece of coral-looking fossil in the woods of Tennessee. That means it's so old the middle of North America was ocean. Unless, of course, it's a fossil of some dumb little plant or something. I'll find out what it is someday. This three-legged pig is the source of all the good fortune in my life. It's made in the tradition of the Chanchitos of Pomer, Chile. My aunt gifted it to me as a kid. I used to carry it with me to debate tournaments. The pig also has a high kintsugi factor. Borrowing from the Japanese observation that brokenness and repair are a source of improvement, this trinket gets a higher score the more fucked up it got throughout its personal journey. It's just like me. It's chipped, smeared with red wax, and it was thrown in the trash by my mom once when my dog got a hold of it. If it were lost, all the bad luck it's absorbed over time would probably be released with catastrophic effects, but luckily, I found it before garbage day. I remember almost nothing about this feather except that it's made of buffalo bone in Native American tradition. I didn't know when I got it as a kid that this was problematic. Also, for all I know, it might just be a piece of plastic made by a settler. I bought this clay bird at the Feast of the Hunter's Moon, a delightful festival at a historical French fort and trading post. It's a songbird. If you let it drink, it will sing for you. Its crest broke off, giving it a pretty good kintsugi bonus. This globe and maraca are from Haiti. No, these trinkets aren't colonialists, they were gifts from my cousin when he went after the 2010 earthquake, and he was born in Haiti. Now, does it make me a white guy cooler just because I have a black relative? Yes, objectively, I think yes. The beach scene is very fun. It makes me think I would love to live in Haiti if it weren't for the extreme poverty, political instability, and susceptibility to extreme weather resulting from a brutal colonial history, which ranges from French enslavement through a heroic slave revolt to ruthless neo-colonial exploitation. For example, the Obama administration fought to keep its minimum wage at 31 cents an hour, also deporting immigrants and denying asylum after the earthquake. The globe is like none I've ever seen. I love how Haiti is huge and Great Britain is totally disrespected, not even outlined. However, I would not use it for precise geography. It doesn't include a legend for distance, but has these radial markings which are hilariously useless. These two also tenuously qualify as trinkets, perhaps big enough to be knickknacks. This solid cube was cracked at a particle physics and accelerator laboratory. It was a gift from my dad. Using extreme science that's too complicated for this video, even though I understand it, the impact was planned to create a beautiful structure of branching cracks. It's surprisingly lightweight. I have to deduct points because it was broken when I got it, but this also gives it a huge kintsugi bonus during a day-long layover in Berlin. It's a little piece of history, among the pieces of detritus scattered around the world which once formed an infamous Cold War monument. I can only speculate on what graffitied image this blue paint was a part of. I like to think it was a middle finger pointed to opponents of Western democracy, or to the culture of bourgeois decadence, whichever will make you all less mad at me. I dropped it in the store as soon as I bought it and the pieces came apart. This turtle was a gift from my friend. Turtles are her favorite animal, but it's a great gift for me because animals are my favorite thing. Its shell doesn't have an underside, so please respect its privacy. Its little head and tail bobble up and down. Speaking of bobbles, here's one I bought in DC's Chinatown on a college trip. A maneki neko is maybe Japan's most well-known trinket, a cat raising its paw to ask for coins. They bring good luck, though typically contributing to the climate crisis because they use fossil fuels. However, this one is solar-powered. These trinkets come from a brief study abroad in Greece. I got them all at a merchant island, where it was customary to haggle, which I was too cowardly to do. This is a bronze statue of the Owl of Athena. It represents knowledge, wisdom, perspicacity, and erudition, words which I know what they all mean. This music box features the Klimt painting The Kiss and the melody Arabesque. It has an incredible kintsugi factor because my dog once took it to the backyard and tore it up. All the more easy to see how a music box works on the inside. This metal statue has the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil monkeys. They're just 3 good little guys. They keep my darker side from taking hold.
The Trinkets gave it their all today. Tune in next time for the conclusion of the 2020 Quarantine Trinket Tournament. Welcome back to the 2020 Quarantine Trinket Tournament. There are only a few trinkets left for round 1.
These animal whistles were both gifts for my friends, both from Mexico, but they're very different. The wooden owl claims no association with Athena and has a friendlier, less piercing gaze than that statue. It can be used to communicate with other owls. Unlike the songbird, it will make noise even when thirsty. The jaguar, however, is to be feared. It's used to communicate with big cats and strikes fear into everyone else. It's similar to the Aztec death whistle, which sounds like a human scream. Aztecs probably used them in war, blowing into hundreds of them to freak out opponents before battle. I think if that happened to me, I would just desert. I found this geode on a run in the woods down by a stream. One side's totally dull, but the other side is a cragged surface shimmering in the light with a crystal cave. Those woods were right by a beautiful lake, and we spent lots of time there in college, even at night during the clown panic of 2016. These balls were gifts for my friend's honeymoon trip to Japan on their way to visit family in Hong Kong. They got them right before COVID hit. One is a pious little dog, and one is a tiny Game Boy Advanced SP with a little game. Here's my full Let's Play. Maybe I'll stream a speedrun later. Finally, I got these thrifting with my friend. I got them because they're mysterious, ugly animals which you can't tell what they are. I thought this was a bear, but I was convinced it's actually a ram. I have no clue for this ceramic bell. I would guess a pig or a frog or a prehistoric proto-mammal. I love how amateurishly it was made, and how it just hangs vertically like it's hung up by a butcher.
The Trinkets are preparing for round 2. They must be positively nervous about our guest judges.
Since I'm biased about my own trinkets, I'll have a cat and dog judge them as well. With opposite temperaments, they'll test the trinkets for broad appeal, and they'll respond with pure instinct rather than sentiment. The cat was barely interested in any of them, and tried to duck out early. I can't blame her, she never agreed to be a judge. I think she finds this video self-indulgent. She kept leaving to apparently chase something under the carpet, but nothing was there. It's like she was saying, I literally care less about your trinkets than nothing. However, she did care a bit about the video game. People, we have a game. And she was tricked by the songbird whistle. The dog gave every trinket a shot, trying to get most of them in her mouth. She wanted to eat the turtle most of all. She was curious about all of the whistles, and tried to initiate combat against the jaguar whistle. Do you read Japanese?
Now let's pause to remember the trinkets we lost in 2020. Time for the final scoring!
After calculating from over 50 variables, we determine the winner. And the top trinket is... the three-legged good luck pig. What an astounding year for the quarantine trinket tournament. Folks, history has been made tonight. The pig put in the work, and in the end, it wanted it more. What an incredible outcome. Hopefully the good fortune our trinket champion releases into the world will be extra strong over the next year. There you have it, everyone. Well done to all the contestants, and we'll see you during the next pandemic. Good night.